Further discuss this now with Elias Symeonakis. He joins me live from Manchester. He's an associate professor in Earth observation and GIS at Manchester Metropolitan University. Thank you for being with us on the program. So how much worse can we expect the situation across the continent really to get before it gets any better?
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm afraid the news from the scientific side of things is not good. The things are going to get much, much worse. We are going to be seeing a lot more of this, a lot more floods, and a lot more destruction, the loss of life across Europe, but also across the globe, happening a lot more. We are continuing to burn fossil fuels. This keeps warming up the planet. The extra heat is causing what we're seeing, whether it's floods, whether it's droughts. So this will continue as long as we're continuing to burn fossil fuels, I'm afraid.
Right. So on that note, in terms of the intensity of the weather patterns that we're experiencing, how much of that can we allude to the climate crisis and global warming? I mean, will it only get worse if governments don't reduce emissions?
I'm afraid that's exactly what's going to happen. If the governments do not reduce emissions, things are going to get worse and only worse. This is only attributable to human activities. The latest storm, Boris, happened because the Med was by 2 degrees warmer than normal. This could not have happened in any other way. It's only human activities that have been able to heat up the Med and the Black Sea, and that caused the extra evaporation to take place, and meeting that cold front over Europe caused that storm to happen in the intense way, like you said, that it happened. There's no way we can actually move to what we used to be like a few decades ago with less storms and more normal weather unless we phase out fossil fuels, I'm afraid.
And how do we get to that point? I mean, what measures need to be taken moving forward in order to prevent this much damage from happening again, especially as we witness a lot more intense weather conditions?
We know exactly what we need to do. We need to move towards a renewable energy system, and we know how to do this. The technology is there. A lot of countries are actually making fast moves towards such change, and China is a good example for that, but some countries are not. So we really need to move much faster, especially in Europe, especially in the developed side of things, in the developed north. We need to move much, much quicker towards what we call a net zero by 2050. It's not good enough if we do that towards the end of those years, like let's say 2040 onwards. We need to move now, especially in the global north where we have the money to do it. The incentive should be there. We see what the destruction causes. There's trillions of euros lost every time we have such catastrophic events. It's much less to spend in order to change our economies from a fossil fuel economy to a renewable energy economy, and that needs to happen now.
You're saying net zero for 2050. It doesn't seem like we're on track to hit that target as of yet. What happens if we don't hit the target?
Planet will keep on warming up. What we see now is happening when we have an average global warming of 1.2 degrees compared to pre-industrial levels, temperatures. We'll just keep on warming without a stop, basically. So going to every single 0.1 degree that we heat the planet is more catastrophe, more deaths, more economic loss, etc. So if we're able to somehow move quicker and stop the heating, that will mean the less lives lost and less economic losses, etc. So if we keep on doing it, the opposite will take place. So more destruction, more deaths, etc. So if we move on to 3 degrees of warming or even 2, that we'll see so much more of this. It will be on a daily basis, basically.
All right, Elias Symeonakis, thank you so much for being with us here on TRT World and sharing that analysis with us. I appreciate it.